Mm, 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 mm. Oh, we had a solid day today now, huh? How we doing, everybody? Oh, boy. It looks like we're in for another run-up. Whew. I think we're all ready for it. The funny thing is my account, where it is at the current time, is at an all-time high. Now, I've also added more money to it, bought more shares, bought more options, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, at these prices, I feel like a lot of you guys have more money right now, potentially, than you did in the June run-up. I also have a really funny story to tell all of you guys once we get some more people in here, because it was very possible that because of a little oopsie that I made, I wasn't going to be able to stream tonight, but I was literally going to be like 20 feet that way. So yeah. Oh, Ben Levine starting off hot, man. Thank you so much for that big super. Great, good day to be an ape. Oh, yes, it was. Guys, I was in class towards the end of the day today, and I was sitting there, and I was paying attention, don't worry, but I had the charts up, and I was just watching. We were like creeping up, 47, 47, 47. We would just get knocked right down. And I just was like chuckling to myself because it was just like, oh, they're shorting. Like, oh, cool. They're trying to knock it down. Even though that I know in my head that there's nothing that they can do at this point in my mind to keep this back. It's like a human that has like a leash on a bull, and it's like, oh, you might be able to stop them a little bit, but if that bull wants to go, they're just gonna go, and you're just gonna get dragged with it. Ernie, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all of you guys who are members of the channel and help support. It really means a lot. Ooh, I hope everybody is having a good time. First time tuning into your stream. Much love. Seeing you on TMI's channel. Jersey Love. Austin, thank you, man. Ooh. All right, let's do a little bit of a brief Vortex update to see kind of where we're at. Let's take a look. So here's what we're looking at. There's some things on here that I want everybody to understand. Utilization going up, meaning more shares are going out on loan versus the total amount of shares that are able to be loaned out. Very good thing. Eventually, that trend is going to put a lot of pressure on these institutions who are loaning out shares. Great news. Second, short interest, the estimates from Vortex, 16.79%. Little bit of a drop. Now, when we think about the price action that we've already seen out of AMC going from low 30s up to 48, kind of bouncing up around that upper 40 range, coming back down, coming back up, I don't really think that that's that price movement is enough to force a whole percentage of the estimated short interest to come down. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because we know that these institutions, one, are going to continually short. And what we also have to keep in mind is that the borrowed shares over the last couple of days have not been that significant. So yeah, they still have ammo to use against us, but it doesn't look like it's that much, if that makes sense. Yeah, we could see the utilization drop a little bit, more shares getting returned. They could take more shares out on loan and use them against us, but we're seeing them be used, in my opinion, we're glitching, all at once. Oh, my whole thing is freaking out again. All right, let's see if I can just do a 1 day. So all at once, we'll just see short attack, short attack, short attack. This isn't retail selling. This is not retail investors selling their position. And I don't even think it's institutions selling their position. If all of these giant institutions were buying all the way up to 77, all the way back down to the low 30s, why would they sell at 47? It doesn't make any logical sense. So they're flooding the market with supply, causing the price to go down because maybe at that one split second, that 30-minute time frame, there's not enough other buyers to soak up or like basically counteract that supply. So those sellers, if you're looking at it as in like little blocks of time in terms of supply and demand, so one block of time might have more buyers willing to transact at higher prices, which are going to bid the price up, which is when we see these increases in price. The second thing is we're going to see another time frame, maybe another 30-minute time period, where there's more sellers, most likely shorts coming into the market, and there's not enough buyers in that period. So what happens then is that they can flood the market with supply and they can basically step down the prices that people are willing to transact at. Because when you just think about overall basic supply and demand, that is what happens. Ernie, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Let me scroll back to grab it. Sorry, I went on a little rant there. But so when we break this $48.50 wall, you think we can break 56? Day wants to take family for steak. Interesting. Yeah, I think 48.50. If we close above 48.50, I've heard in terms of like technicals, I think we run. We'll get into it a little bit more too, exactly why I think we're gonna run. But yeah, Ernie, I think right as we break that 48.5, it could easily cause a run. Will tomorrow's new margin requirement skyrocket AMC? Probably not, but we're gonna have to wait on that one. Matt, thank you so much for the supers, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to keep doing what we do. Matt says, what number are you thinking causes a monster gamma in shorts cover in your non-financial advice opinion? Okay, the Ernie's question and Matt's question, let's hit both of those because they're kind of one and the same. So Ernie's is more of like, if we hit 48.50, can we reach 56? Maybe. And Matt's is, what is the high price or the price levels that we could see a big gamma or those small to medium sized shorts start to cover? Now, there's a couple of things that we need to look at, mainly the option chain. So for Matt's question, when we look at September 17th, which I've been saying that this is the next really important monthly expiration date, I honestly like January, not anymore, honestly. Let's see. I'm just going to check something real quick. Yeah. January is still up there, but September right now is setting up to be better, even better than that January expiration. So why is this glitching so hard? It's just laggy. Darth Bane, thank you so much for the super chat, man. STV, what classes do you teach at your college? I teach how to be a negative influence on others. Sometimes, not all the time, but that's the main class that I teach. How to be a negative influence on your classmates. Okay, so going back to these two questions, we're seeing the reversal of the trend. So there's a lot of bullish momentum behind the stock. Cool. We know that a lot of these options right here already in the money, most likely already hedged for. This is basically 75% of 3.4 million shares. When you think about that, that is probably around, I don't know, 22 or 2.2 million shares. Now, here's the thing. We have a decent amount of options at 50 that have not been hedged for. So this delta right here is going to go up. These run in the money, they hedge. Same thing with the 60s. So as we start to go up, remember, if you guys watched the video from earlier, we're talking about that perfect storm of events happening again. We have the fiscal year ending. We have the quarter ending. We have all of these new margin requirements coming in. We have basically a green light from the Fed that they're not going to mess with anything in the near future to cause the market to come down, which could send AMC down too, even though it has a negative beta, which we are going to touch on in this stream. So we have this momentum coming in. So getting really to like, I know this is like a little bit of a long-winded answer for Matt's question and Ernie's, but Ernie, yeah, if we see that $48.50 break, we could definitely start to rip up to this $55, $56 mark. But if we start to really trend up, one, gamma squeeze, two, FOMO, which is gonna, I mean, everybody's gonna want more shares at this point because they're gonna think we're gonna have another massive price run up, which is very possible. But I think we have to get to around that 60, 70 range before we start seeing 100% days. I could be wrong. This is just what happened in June. We saw that like 20% day, 20% day, 20% day, pretty flat day, and then boom. And if we do that, it would run through 145. We're also at we're closer to 145 in terms of a percentage than we were from 10 to 14 to 40 right now. And I think people need to keep that in mind. It is a smaller percent gain that we would have to go on this massive run to even get to that 145. Now, if we do cross this, I'm thinking we would get around 200, and that is in line with a lot of these other projections. But in my opinion, it's just me. I'm not using like I know Astro has like more reasons for why we could see that price level, and BAM also has his technical reasons. Mine is just like thinking logically in my head, just very simply. What did we see last time? If we see these options running the money and we have all of these institutions maybe buying more, but we have this gamma squeeze and we are going to see more shorts cover at those levels, I think that's a decent price that we could get to. Let me hit a couple of these supers. John, thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for the knowledge sharing. Let's keep it rolling. There we go. Ernie, supposedly MSCI is supposed to buy AMC tomorrow. There are 640-ish ETF with them and new rules. We'll have a nice catalyst as well. Yeah, if we do see a red day over the next couple of days, nobody freak out. There's nothing to freak out about. If we see a red day, it will be a healthy pullback, a little bit of a breather, and then we can really start to get going. Are we going to see one? Who knows? We could just keep ripping. Ben, how far in advance do they cover options? So if the September 17th has a huge amount of options, when do they start covering those? Ben, that's a really good question. Okay, so think about what happened in June and how everybody got hyped up for the week ending June 18th. So that week. We saw the massive run up in the beginning of June, and all of those $40 strikes were in the money, and a lot of people were already exercising them. So there's really two things. If the options start to run in the money, they're going to hedge them, especially if it's super volatile, because of the risk that the stock goes to theoretical infinity, and they would have to buy shares at that crazy high price and then sell them back at the strike. So it's better for them to start hedging as soon as possible. So they would want to hedge before the stock reaches the break even for what they sold those contracts for. So let's just take this $40 strike, or 50's easier. This $50 strike, for example, if they can hedge these contracts for September 17th before the stock reaches the break even, which would be at the current time, what's the last price right here? 55.34. Then they are guaranteeing locking in a little bit of profit on that trade because they know they're not going to have to buy the shares at a higher price than what the break even is on it's like legging into a covered call position. But then remember what happened on that big run up in June. We saw big gamma squeeze in the beginning for all of those options being hedged for, and then nothing June 18th. We can take a look at the chart on that week because everybody and their mother was like, we're going to have a big gamma squeeze because all of these contracts were in the money, but nothing happened. So let's see, where is June 18th? It should be like here, right here. Okay. So this was a decent day, 10% right before June 18th. So a little bit of hedging still for the contracts that they hadn't already covered. But again, nothing crazy here. But we already saw the big bulk of the hedging. So if we do see a big run up over the next couple of days or the next week, we would then see. Let's see. We would then see like the last ditch effort to hedge. Ben, thank you so much for another super. I really appreciate it, man. Okay, now check BBIG option chain for me and tell me how crazy that is going to get. Ben, I will. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to turn off this air conditioner again because it's making me angry. All right. Hopefully that'll turn down soon. I'm back. It's going to take 2 seconds. Sean, thank you so much for the super. Do you see the 16 million volume on the first minute after hours? Saw it on Fidelity, TradingView, and Yahoo. Not on Webull, though. Interesting. First minute of after hours? No, I got nothing here on that. No, I got 2 million on the second one, but that's it. All right, let's take a look at this BBIG option chain. Okay. What's their float? Or how many shares are there? 18 million. Okay. Okay. So right now it's like not enough. What is that? 1.3, 2.1, 1.5, 4.8. These are already hedged for. These right here already hedged for, going up to here. There's a little bit left here, a little bit left here. If these run in the money, that's more, but that's a big jump. So what BBIG, they've already seen a lot of their gamma squeeze. In my opinion, they've already seen some of it. Alpha Stonks, thank you so much for the super chats, guys. Can you explain how someone would play a leap option during the MOAS? Would think trying to sell an option mid squeeze would be tricky. Okay, this is actually a very good question. So let's think about this, for example. And I can actually just give you an example of this already. Nepal, thank you so much for the super. What's going on, my guy? Do you think Ken took that 500 million from Melvin so we can have money for the automatic margin calls that's going to start? Thanks, bro. It's possible. But again, going off of what we've said in the past about you're never actually going to know what the motivations of an institution or somebody at an institution or what the institution does. You're not going to know the motivations of a specific action unless you're sitting across from the table from them and you can guarantee that they're giving you an honest answer to their question. So they could be doing something completely different with that 500 million. Or they could be using it for these potential increased margin requirements. Okay, so let's just say we're looking at this $20 strike right here, alpha. So I know a lot of people have leaps now. This is the January 2023 option chain. So we're gonna get a little bit of an insight into what this could potentially look like. First, we're gonna see eventually big spreads in the option chain. So if you have these leaps and you have long dated options and they run super deep in the money, the spreads on these are most likely going to widen. So what you're most likely going to have to do is go down to the bid or just above the bid, hoping that you get filled. Here's how you can play it, though. Think about the market maker. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm really thirsty tonight. We got a lot of hedgy tears in this thing today. I got to drink. All right. So think about what the market maker does once they sell these options. They have a couple of different things that they can do. They can hedge them or they can buy them back. Okay, so let's say at one point, these January 2023 contracts were, let's just say, $200, for example. $200 for this January 2023 $20 strike. We're just making up numbers here. So now it's worth $3,300. Okay, so here are the two options that the market maker would have right now. They can go out on the open market and buy 100 shares if they don't already have these hedged for. This is where you got to really think about this, because some of these contracts won't be hedged for. About 10% of them, according to this delta right here. So what they can then do, go out on the open market and buy 100 shares for $4,700, or they can buy the contract back for $3,300. That is about a $1,400 difference per contract, remember. And there's 5,400 of these contracts. So that's a decent amount of money that they would save by just buying back the contracts. So there's going to be a market for these contracts. You're not going to have to, you don't, most likely, you're not going to have to come up with the $2,000 to exercise this contract when we squeeze, just for example. There is going to be a market for you to sell them in. I think if they exercise the options, it doesn't show up on the volume. It's kind of like the dark pool. They have to get the shares regardless. Dude, oh, Ian, what happened? What did Ian do? I'm just proud I held and added along the way. Working your average down from 59? There you go. We're coming back for you, man. Am I expecting new highs in September for AMC? It's not so much that I'm expecting it to happen because you don't want to get your hopes up. I've put my money where I think it can go in these time frames, in terms of like options trades, but I think it's likely. That's what I would say about reaching new all-time highs. I think it's likely. Am I 100% sure that it's going to happen? Absolutely not. Am I hopeful? Oh, yes, I am. We've seen since the beginning of June like an overall downtrend. We're starting to see the morale come back. We are starting to see this perfect storm of things lining up that maybe it won't happen this week in terms of a big price run up. Maybe not the next week. Maybe not next month. But we're starting to see things come together. How many shares do you have, STV? Enough. But I can always get more. Let's see. Space Ape says he's 50% sure that it's going to happen. Real question. Don't set certain price, but what's the potential and how high do you think they will let it go before shutting this thing down? Nobody has any idea. Danny Burke, thank you so much for the super. BBIG, 65 million shares outstanding and 18 million free float. I think they have about 47 million free float according to their market cap. Weeble is wrong, I think. Interesting. Danny, thanks for that. I don't know. I haven't looked into BBIG all that much. Again, when we look at these plays, you got to get them early. At this point, you're chasing. If you were in last week, the week before, you've gotten into these plays, maybe you had options, maybe you just have some shares. You're crushing it right now. But right now, see, the thing about SPRT was I saw it start to go and I was like, oh, I'll buy some shares just to mess around. It's like, even if it went down 50%, the loss that I would take was like minuscule to the amount that I could have potentially gained, or it wouldn't have made a difference in what I thought AMC was going to do. I was like, I just won't have as much cash to put into AMC or like shares or options. And I could have just always put more money into my account. It wasn't so much like, oh, this is the last dime that I have, that like I was going to spend messing around with SPRT. So I hopped in, made a little bit of money. I chased it a little bit later, lost a little bit, but I was still green on the position, which gave me more ammo to put back into AMC positions. When the squeeze happens, is it better to exercise or sell shares? Tracy, I think you're talking about options. You will make more in terms of a dollar amount if you just sell the contract, but you will end up getting more shares, and those shares won't expire, if that makes sense. But you'll have to cough up the money for the shares. And then the contract is just useless. You don't get any dollar amount from the contract except for the intrinsic value of you exercising that option. Shay, thank you so much for that generous super. We use Vortex so much, but what happens when they close the first 100 million shares, which pushes Vortex's figure really low? Won't people think the squeeze is over and sell before the real/synthetics or the rest/synthetics get covered? Shay, that's a really good question. Here's the thing. We're not going to see it go to zero. I would, this is just like, it's kind of speculation, but it makes a lot of sense. Look at the trend of what's happened on Vortex in the past. Let's just look at the estimated short interest. Where is this? Where's June? Where's June? Okay, that's July. Okay, so April started to come down. It came back up, and then it was at around, am I on the wrong thing? No. Interesting. So 16.59% on May 31st, and then dropped all the way down to 11.93%. But then it came back up. So it's not like the stock is just going to go up and people aren't going to add to short positions or enter into new short positions. So if you're worried about people getting freaked out by Vortex, well, yeah, we're going to see that drop in the short interest and utilization when we have that next big run up, but eventually it's going to come back. Like, think if you're an institution who's like a fundamentals investor, you're going to see AMC or GameStop or any one of these other squeeze stocks rip, and then you're going to just enter into a short position because that may make sense. They may not believe in the thesis that there's counterfeit shares out there. In my opinion, they're wrong. And they would add to their shorts, and it would basically get us back to the short interest that we were at before. Also, if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the stream. It just helps us get some more people in here. We're having some fun tonight. I'm hyped up. Oh, I didn't tell you guys my story yet. All right, story time with STV. So I went to the grocery store today, and I got food after my classes so I could make dinner. Cool. I made dinner. There was a little bit of a mess, so I had to clean it up, and I had a full trash bag. Now, the way that this apartment works is you have this little key fob to get into your apartment. So I was just kind of like not thinking. I had a Houston wage stream on in the background. I was just hanging out, listening, learning some stuff. And then I just walk out of my apartment. And right as I take my first step out, I like go to run back in because I forgot my key fob. And like right as I go to like hit the door handle or like hit the door to like push it back open, it like the door was locked. And here's the most effed up thing about the timing of when I did this. If you get locked out during like the hours that the apartment like complex is like open, then it's free. They'll come and let you in. It's fine. But here's when it closes, 6 p.m. Do you guys know when I got locked out of my apartment? 5:59. I got locked out at 5:59, and I was scrambling to find the phone number for when I could like get when I could like hopefully it was going to be free. No, I call them. It's literally like 6:01. And they were like, yeah, it's going to be like a $75 fee. And I was like, all right, I need to get back into my apartment. So do it. Yeah. So that's my little story. Yeah. So I was just standing out for like 15 minutes in my hallway, just messing around. So let's see. We got a lot of other stuff we got to talk about too. Let's see. Wow. Okay. So when we're looking at Stonko Tracker right here, there's 73,000 contracts in the money for this week. This week's option chain is not crazy. Yeah, there's 21,000 contracts at 50 now. If we run through 50, that's going to be some decent hedging. But like leading up to these price moves, there's not that many contracts on this option chain. Like when we look at how many contracts are out of the money for this week, all right, it's stepping up. It's starting to step up. This is what we expect to see happen going into these types of weeks. Everybody's expecting a big move up, and the open interest is going to increase. This is something I've talked about in my videos over the past couple of days. If we keep running and we send a bunch of these contracts in the money, we're just going to keep going. Were you locked out in your underwear? No, I was not locked out in my underwear. As a college grad, I'm learning from your stream. It is a little like being undercover. There you go. Think of the MOAS value on those. Yeah, guys, like that stunk. I was like, come on now. I was like, really? Really, I have to pay you guys like $75 to get back into my apartment right now? Like 1 minute past the time that you guys are like open. So that's what that's me being stupid. And the other thing is Wall Street Viking, what's going on, man? I know you're probably crushing it right now on some of these plays. Congratulations, man. Thank you so much for the super. Webull does not update the open interest during the day. You'll see what was bought today soon after market hours tomorrow. Yeah, it's either in the morning or it would be in the afternoon. That's why mechanical locks are better than key fobs. You have to lock them manually. I mean, either way, my key was in my apartment. And the other thing is that I only have one of them. Like if I had two of them, I would leave one in my car and I'd have the other one like on my keychain so that in the event that I got locked out, I would just go to my car. It's just like, that side chick got you melting. Hey guys, no side chick. No side chick. No. If anyone trades crypto, Webull actually has a good chart system you can use to watch. Transparency. There you go. Bro, those Webull charts, what are you guys talking about? Like, I mean, it's just Webull. Make a copy. Ooh, I don't think I could do that. You guys are having your own conversations again. All right. We also, we talked about this Vanguard situation, which, I mean, we know that they've already bought. I don't think we need to cover that again. We have MSCI. We have the DTCC's phase 5, which is going to be big. And then NSCC 005 with the smaller funds, like your apartment manager's keys expired in the money. Yeah, they did. Could September 17th be squeeze day? I don't know about that. Trapping on Wall Street. What's up, man? But the car keys would be locked in the apartment, says Gary. That's true. But if I was an idiot and didn't lock my car, then I would have been good. You can have a side chick anytime. Get a clue. No, not happening. Wall Street Viking, thank you so much for another super. Yes, sir. If BBIG and AMC do what I think, no dates this week, I'll send you another picture. LFG. Oh, Viking. Dude, I love seeing that. Everybody that's making money right now, oh, that's what it's all about. That's like that's what makes like us happy. Like everybody making money. The two things that that I would say like really bug like content creators are when people lose money and when we put out information that we think is true and ends up not being true. Those are the two things that just like hurt. What kind of car do you drive? It's a car. You ain't a man if you don't have one. You probably don't have that good of a main girl then. Like your number one is probably like number 3 or 4 material, and that's what makes you want to have a side one. You just have to up the quality of the number one, the one you like. Let's see. Labor Day is important. Last run up was around Memorial Day. That's true. It was after. It was right after. Attaboy STV. Guys, I'm having a great time tonight. You guys want to know what I did last night? I was laying in my bed and I was like kind of tired, but I was just thinking about the situation that we have and just how big this is. And I was like, I can't sleep right now. So I just started walking. I was like, I need to go for a walk. I was just thinking in my head, like, wow, look how far. Like, look at what has happened over the last 8 months. Just in terms of the AMC community. Like, just think about how crazy this is. I've never seen... I've never seen a group of people come together behind a cause in such a positive manner at any time in for like a long period of time. I've never seen this happen ever. I can't point to another thing that's like caused this type of like group morale behind a cause. It just comes down to a lot of people like the stock. They see the BS that's been happening in their market, and they're just like, okay, well, if I buy this stock right here, it's my vote that says I don't agree with how our market is being run right now. And if I can profit off of that manipulation and the BS and stuff that's been happening, absolutely people would do that. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion. Never forget 801. There we go. I thought I was in line for the restroom and ended up here. There you go. SB, can you give me your opinion on KPLT? Jim, honestly, I haven't heard of it. You were trying to find a girl, talk about stocks, and I don't get that one. Yeah, like I learned from experience that when you have too many guys, Joseph, why are you guys talking about having like so many girls right now? Like, do what you want, but CJ, probably just boats. If an institution is lending their shares, are they not allowed to sell until those shares are returned? I mean, technically they don't have them right now, so they would have to get them back in order to sell them on the open market. Cap, thank you so much for the super. Vix, did you find a girl to IF in class that you'll she got friends, here's money? Cap, no. Actually, yeah. AMC, also known as Amy, I was staring at her the entire day. Look what she did today. Look at how pretty she is. Look what she was doing all day. She went up, she came down, she was a little volatile, she came up a little bit, down, but finished very green. I was staring at this all day long. Is Short the Vix his real legal name, or is that his YouTube name? It's a really interesting question. It's the internet. Let them pretend. Yeah, that's my real name. All right. I think what's his name? SOM Dork sent me some DD. Let's take a look. We want to get into some swaps. Swap stuff. Woohoo. We'll mess around. Here we go. Final boss. Bank swaps. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. Sometimes, like when you guys send me things, especially when I'm streaming, it's just gonna be me just quietly reading something and figuring it out. And I feel like that's boring for everybody. But yeah, the swaps thing, I could have easily seen them packaging stuff into swaps and offloading them. Let's see. Oh my God. You guys are crazy right now. It's not a dead effing cat, guys. Ian, 100%. All those people, here's the thing. There have been people on the internet, on the media sites, that you know what they were saying after AMC had its little run up? It's done. It's not going to do anything anymore. The short thesis is gone. Somebody was saying that the retail was selling, the shorts had covered. It's all BS. It's all BS. We've seen these we're seeing this next leg up. And honestly, when we see these next big run-ups, I'm going to be talking. I'm going to say, hey, why did you have to come out and act like a complete idiot against what we have going on here? You literally just missed out on making money. Like, yeah, there were other plays that you might have been able to make some money on. But when we see AMC rip and all these news media sites are going to be quiet, it's going to be awesome. We're starting to see it right now, and we're just going to keep seeing it in the future. Ben, thank you so much for the super. My side chick is kind of BBIG, but Amy will always be number one. Ben, there you go. Victor/STV expectations for tomorrow. My name's not Victor. Jim Cramer said that. What did Jim Cramer say? Oh, no. I think it was Rich Greenfield. Is the VIX drunk? No, guys, it's a Tuesday. I'm just excited that we had a green day. All right. We also closed the after hours trading period at 47.57. We are closed above that pretty solid level of 40. I think it was 46.50 was a lot of people were saying. I know TMI was saying that. I think Matt might have been saying 46.50 was decent. 47.57. We only need to run up $1 tomorrow in order to see that 48.50 test. How is school? It's all right. It's all right. I was talking to one of my professors today because I honestly, there's this one professor that I have for my management class. Like he is a super cool dude, really cool guy. And I walked up to him after class because his class is at 2:00 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I also have a 3-hour lab from like 11 to 1 on Thursdays. So I only have like an hour time block in order for me to get back to my apartment and make a video. So I just told him, I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like I'm gonna be here. It's just like, is it all right that some days I show up late? And he was like, well, maybe. And I was like, come on. I was like, come on, man. Like we'll see. Did you make the professor an ape? I could. John, thank you so much for another super. It's all BS, 100%. That's the other thing that I think people have really realized over the past 8 months is that anything that these news, it doesn't have to be revolving around the financial media. It's like anything that these media institutions put out needs to be taken with literally the entire bag of salt. There's always a motivation behind it. They always have a different agenda that you may or may not be seeing. In this situation, we know their agenda. A lot of these institutions have people that are short AMC, or they have relationships with institutions that are. We know it's happened. It's been admitted many times that these institutions are like paid off. We saw that Jim Cramer interview. It's definitely happening. I don't know who it is. And I'm not naming any media institutions. So let's just say it's all speculation, so I don't end up with a lawsuit. But like it's very possible that this is happening. Like here's the other thing: they make it so obvious. Like especially like a couple of those FUD media sources that literally were coming out and saying that AMC could be on the verge of bankruptcy, even though Adam Aron had came out a couple of weeks before and was like, "Yeah, that's not happening." It's like, oh, really? Like you're gonna come out and say this right now? Nando. This is other Nando, currently in school as well. Moas hits. I'm dropping out right then and there. Nando, go for it, man. Do what you got to do. I say we short the professor. Nah, I think he's going to be cool with it. Explain the CFTC tweet. Let's look. Somebody send it to me. Yeah, can somebody send this to me? CFTC. Oh, I think I got it. Is it brand new? 3 hours ago? CFTC staff provides temporary no action relief from certain financial reporting requirements to bank swap dealers. No action relief from certain. Interesting. This is weird. All right, let's pull this up. This is the article. It's the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Let's go through this and see if we can draw a conclusion on what's going on. All right, this is going to have to do with swaps. Let's see. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission's Market Participants Division today issued a time-limited no-action letter concerning capital and financial reporting obligations for swap dealers subject to capital requirements of a prudential regulator. Under review in lieu of complying, Subject to certain specified conditions, bank STs may report utilizing certain alternative forms, filing deadlines, and or reporting standards that are otherwise applicable to them. Have returned was issued in response to a joint request received from the industry. October 2023. What is an SD? What are they talking about? All right, let's figure out what the heck this means. Let's see. No action letters. An individual or entity who is not certain whether a particular product, service, or action will constitute a violation of the federal securities law may request a no action. Okay, here we go. This is what this is right here. So this is what it is. An individual or entity who is not certain whether a particular product, service, or action would constitute a violation of the federal securities law may request a no action letter from the SEC staff. Most no action levels describe the request, analyze the particular facts and circumstances involved, discuss applicable laws, rules, and if the staff grants the request for no action, concludes that the SEC staff would not recommend that the commission take enforcement action against the requester based on the facts and representations described in the individual's or entity's request. Oh boy. They issued it. Capital and financial reporting obligations for swap dealers. Wow. Interesting. What are you guys going off on here? This is important. We need to get into this for a while right now. Tanner, thank you so much for the super. Do I have to be worried about PDT in Canada? I have well over 25K in my Quest Trade tax-free savings account. Can I trade as much as I want? I mean, PDT in the United States is 25K and over. So I'm not sure what Canadian specific laws are because I'm not in Canada. But I'm guessing that if it's similar laws, then you're all good to go. What is that about? Backdoor to get off the hook? Yeah, I mean, this doesn't sound like great, but financial reporting obligations. It looks like I'm just wondering what reporting obligation that they're talking about. Like, see, it says from certain financial reporting requirements to bank swap dealers. Like, which ones? Like, what requirement are they talking about here in this no action letter? Yeah, I see it. Expires October 2023. No action letter on behalf of the SD members or others required to assist with the CFTC's newly adopted capital and financial reporting requirements. The relief granted by letter would expire the adoption by the CFTC of any revised financial reporting and notification requirements applicable to such bank swap dealers. What are the new rules? Let's just look. CFTC's newly adopted capital and financial reporting requirements. Let's just see what they are. It could be nothing. It literally could be nothing. It could just be like, oh, you have to do this random thing. July 2020. Fund files. 2021. Here we go. Here's something from Westlaw. Let's see what they're saying over here. Seems like they're doing something they think might be illegal, but they want the SEC to say it's not. Yeah, that's what a no action letter is. Hold on, I'm going to shoot out this link to a couple of people so we can try to get some people on because this is weird. Here's the thing, guys. One, just because something's not reported doesn't necessarily mean that it's not still out there. Like, time limited. Yeah, let me go back to this. December. Yeah, that's 2016. What are these new rules? It's this one. Minimum capital and financial reporting requirements. This is April. Advising member firms that are registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission as swap dealers that rules adopting minimum capital recording effective October 6th. That's this one, right? Okay, this is it right here. Okay, so this is what they're talking about. I believe this is what they're talking about because look right here. We can see the no action. Where is it? Oh, no, it's this one. So it says otherwise required to comply by October 6th. This is the rule that they're talking about right here. Adopting minimal capital and financial reporting requirements will become effective October 6th. It requires that swap dealers that are not subject to the rule of a prudent regulator meet the applicable capital requirements. Using internal monitoring credit risk exposure, Smithy. Oh, hold up. Let's take our time with this. Let's see. Does anybody else have any? Let's see. They will not give us details, no respect for investors. I just found it. So let's see what we have. Yeah, I know it's until 2023. I know. I see that. We just got to figure out. Here's the thing, guys. It doesn't look like it looks weird at face value, but let's just see what this thing on October 6th is. Like, what is it? Let's see. Requires that are not subject to the rules meet these requirements. What does this say? Filing deadlines by their prudential or home regulatory regulators would not adversely impact the ability to monitor. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold up. CFTC staff determined that providing the conditional relief on a temporary basis would not adversely impact its ability to monitor the capital position of bank swap dealers to the extent of its obligation under the Commodity Exchange Act and CFTC regulations. Is that BS? I don't know. But why are they giving, what is this relief? Bank SDs may report utilizing certain alternative forms. So they're literally just going to write it down on a different sheet of paper, filing deadlines so they can mess around with dates and or reporting standards. To meet capital requirements, use internal models to calculate market and credit exposure, submit an application to the National Futures Association. Interesting. Yeah, it sounds like a workaround, but for what? Exactly. That's what I'm thinking right now. Okay. Here's what we got. Right now, remember what we've said in the past. None of these proposed rule changes that look bullish for us are most likely going to just set off the squeeze. Same thing with this. If this comes out to be negative, it's not going to stop anything. Let's see. That's weird, though. That's a very, very weird thing that they've just done. It just says they're becoming less transparent with the looser reporting deadlines. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, if you're talking about swaps and you have this phase 5 UMR coming in, and then this says right here, it's not going to adversely impact its ability to monitor the capital position of bank swap dealers, then it doesn't matter, because if they can still see it, like all they have to do is be able to see the exposure. Because, okay, think about this. Let me think of a good example for this. I keep coming. I'm back at school now, so I keep thinking of examples. Let's just say you have to take an exam, but you have like an extenuating circumstance where you have to take it the week after. The knowledge that like you're not going to be able to like, or like a day later or something like that. The difference that you're going to be able to make in terms of like a quantifiable difference in your grade in terms of the knowledge is not going to make that much of a difference. You're still going to pass. You still have to take the same test. So they can still see what's going on. And with this phase 5 UMR, that like they're still going to be having these increased margin requirements. So like it almost doesn't matter. Like that's where I'm at right now. Yeah, I don't think this is anything crazy right here. I'm going to take a deeper look into this. I think I've got time tomorrow. Let me see what my class schedule is like tomorrow. I think it's the same as Monday. Let me look. I just got to see if I can, like, I have time to dig into this tomorrow. Yeah, I do. We're almost done filling up the rocket with gas. I mean, yeah. Thank you, STV. We know it's hard to dissect these on the fly. Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one to dig into. Oh, what's up, Rocket? Let's see. Yeah, let me move some of these over here so I can... Ooh, what the heck was that? Let me just move this stuff over here so I can just keep looking through it. Interesting. Also, if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the video. It just helps us get some more people in here. So thank you to you guys that have already done that and who are going to. Oh, what's up, Pushin'? Looks like a lot of shares of SPRT got returned and the utilization is down. Is this what shorts have covered looks like? Let's take a look at SPRT because we were supposed to find out a decent amount about what was going on last Friday. So let's take a look. Dude, they haven't done crap. What was the short interest on this before? Like 73, now it's at 65. Okay. A lot of shares got returned, but what was the utilization? Utilization 95 down to 79. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, in terms of the utilization, it does show a lot of shares got returned, but at the same time, the short interest didn't fall by that much. It could continue to go down tomorrow, and that would be a sign of short starting to cover. But we would really have to wait and see. What do they have for FTDs? Oh my Lord. That is a lot of FTDs. Average days on loan, 58. That's up there. That is up there. Vix, what's up with this new CFTC filing made today? John, we just spent a little while going over that. Wall Street Viking, thank you so much for the super. LMAO, still long on SPRT, BBIG, and AMC. And yes, I was able to increase my AMC. Viking, you are a model ape. Look at that cost to borrow, though. CT, I know. Yeah. Yeah. John, we already went over that a little bit. Oh, yeah, you're good. Let's see. If Robinhood goes bankrupt after payment for order flow gets banned, could that tie up people's AMC shares during the squeeze and give hedgies an out to cover while people's money and shares are tied up? No. If people's shares are locked up for any given period of time, they cannot buy, they cannot sell. It lowers the basket of shares that, let's just say that 10% of all AMC shares that are out in the market right now are owned on Robinhood. If the shorts have to cover multiple times over of the float and there's 10% less shares that they can do that with, then they're not going to be able to get their hands on that block of shares, lowers the supply, the demand is still the same, the price goes even higher. Oh, Wall Street Viking. Thank you so much for another super. That squeeze, not squoze, in my opinion, not advice. There you go. What's going on with the $1 million put? I'm not sure what that is. Maybe they had a bunch of shares on loan but returned them because they couldn't afford it any longer. Fee rhymes with AMC, very possible. STV, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. I appreciate the knowledge you bring us apes that are learning. Lucky Duck, thank you, man. Let's see. Not selling until I can do covered calls on the Dow. Ho, ho, ho. I mean, you would want to run the wheel on SPY because there's 3 expiration dates, but to each his own. Not financial advice. Just got here. Can you repeat everything you said for the past hour? No. I can't. Hey, Ape Nation, haven't been on here in a while. John, good to see you, man. Ooh, what's up, Chopper? I'd be happy with covered calls on O. Is that the REIT? I think that's the REIT. Not selling until that share price looks like a phone number. Oh my God, that would be insane. That would be absolutely ridiculous. Can they cover through the dark pools? They can cover shorts in the dark pool, but again, it's going to affect the price because it's going to, if they were to try to do it all in the dark pool, there's not going to be enough transactions taking place in the dark pool for them to be able to cover. It's like saying, can they cover in after hours? What is that? Does that CFTC rule screw us? In my opinion, no. Nothing to, I don't think it's anything to freak out about. Not right now. I'd have to do a deeper look into it, though. Looks like Doge is giving the market the middle finger. Is it? Greetings, everyone, everywhere. From Florida, Hi STV. Craig, I'll be in Florida this weekend. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. I'll be here for a minute. Can you say what you were going to say? About what? Let's see. Let's see what we got. STV, is the 10 a.m. margin call on Friday going to affect the price of AMC? It could. It also could do nothing. It most likely will do nothing. But what it does is it just puts more pressure on. That's what that proposed rule change does when it becomes effective. It just puts more pressure onto these smaller institutions. And again, those smaller institutions are the ones that I think are the ones that we really need to be focusing on. It's not the Citadel, Virtue, State Street. Like, it's not those people that could be potentially really ultra short on AMC. It's the smaller ones. We've been over this a lot, though. In non-financial advice, can you throw a number out there for what the squeeze might look like or what price would look like if the short's covered today? Brandon, nobody has any idea, but we would see parabolic price action. Wall Street Viking, thank you so much for another super. I sent you a DM. Don't share publicly, though. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh, Wall Street Viking, you absolute beast. The more we run before the Friday, the better our chances. It could be. No, if you guys want to send me like how much money you guys have made, like that's just cool. Like I know you guys are absolutely crushing it out here with the gains. It's awesome. Yeah, and nobody knows how high we're going to see this or when it's going to happen. The only thing that we're really going to see is parabolic price action. We are going to see the share price just go vertical. And then we'll have a decent understanding of, okay, we might be in the squeeze now. But until then, nothing changes. Did you say BBIG had a lot of FTD? I did. It has a lot. What's up, brother? Did you see the after hours? A few million shares been filled. I think those are all delayed orders, and I have screenshots if you're interested. Miro, I would love to see that, but on AMC, it looks like. Wait, are we on the right? Yeah, we are. I mean, yeah, the couple of these. What the heck is this? This is weird. This is 6 million. Interesting. I thought this candle was bigger earlier. Maybe that adjusted. Some stuff starts adjusting in the after hours, and it freaks me out sometimes. No PDT in Canada. Day trade all you like. There you go. McSlipple says, I think we rock it tomorrow. I think it's very possible that we continue on this bullish trend that we have set out for us right now. Bring up M at Vortex. Alrighty. MMAT. What do we got? Metamaterials. Utilization 82.82. Current short interest 6.95%. Nothing real crazy. Failures to deliver. Spiked back in the end of June. Short interest, let's see. Short interest went all the way up to 9.14. It's dropping though. This doesn't really seem like a heavy shorted stock. Go back to AMC's Vortex. AMC's Vortex. It sometimes updates in the after hours. 93, 16.92, pretty much the same. Let's see. With utilization this low, the price movement might be unnoticed, don't you think? How much is shorted shares to daily volume ratio? We can actually look at that. I'm pretty sure we got that on Fintel. Short interest. Come on now. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot though. AMC. Why is this different? Yeah, I don't see it on here. Oh, negative beta. Here we go. We'll talk about this negative beta thing. So here's the thing. With negative beta, what beta is, it's the relationship between one stock's move. It's the correlation between one single stock's move to the broad market. So usually it's compared to the S&P. The calculation that they run has to do with covariance, variance, standard deviation, and a lot of other different metrics. I can calculate it for you guys if you want to. It's not. Here's why I probably won't. The 1 year beta for AMC, I've seen it negative, and I've also heard of people saying it's positive. 5 year beta, positive, meaning that it is positively correlated to the market on that 5 year. So when the S&P goes up, AMC would go up too. If it's negative, if S&P goes up, AMC should go down. If the S&P goes down, AMC should go up. But I also have seen AMC's beta be like -17 on Bloomberg, -4 on like Infront Analytics, which is what a lot of the hedge funds use. But here's the thing. AMC is an incredibly manipulated stock. Just because of it's just like AMC, GameStop, and a lot of these other like short squeeze stocks are heavily manipulated. If the market starts to go down and there's enough shares that they can get their hands on to continually push the price of the stock down, it's not going to matter what this beta the coefficient is if they can still push the price of the stock down. It depends on the reason why the market's coming down as well. But at the same time, it could also react as if it has a negative beta. Here's the thing though. When we're thinking about negative beta, here's what I see happening that we've gone over a couple of times. AMC trading at 47.57 right now, and that's here. Market starts to come down. there's a certain amount of short interest. Let's just say the short interest right now is like 17% on Vortex. Right here, you see that 17% number. Just try to visualize it. We have price, short interest right here. The shorts push it down to, let's say, a much lower number. Arbitrarily, doesn't matter what it is. But that 17% short interest that it was when it was 47.57 is now 25% down here, according to the reported like the exchange reported data. 25, 17. Okay, so what we have now is, yes, the price has come down, but they've added to all of these shorts. Now, when you add to your short position and you push the stock price even lower, maybe your average sale price of your short, you're now taking less of a loss. So you've gained back a little bit on your position. Now, at that point where now we had 47.57 and 17%, so price, short interest. Now, when we come down here with that arbitrarily low number and maybe 25% plus short interest, then we have a situation where that drop provides for an opportunity for these shorts to get out less injured. So what it does is, right now we're seeing kind of like a weird battle between a lot of these over-leveraged institutions of who's going to cover their massive short position first. Nobody's really done it right now because they know that the first 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 of them that do are going to be the ones that send the price through the roof. But when the stock gets lower, it makes it a lot harder for them to resist that temptation of covering their short position at less of a loss. It's very similar to when we get to like 1, 3, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. It's going to be a lot harder for some people to keep holding their position. Same thing on the way down with the institutions. So now when we come back to that example of 47, 57, 17, low number, 25% short interest, well, all that really happens right here is that they have to cover more shorts, but they're just starting the covering at a lower price. In my opinion, it doesn't really change anything in terms of like the height that the squeeze could go to. It's just, do you start from here or do you start from down here with more potential buying volume? Trevor says, hey, great job on today's video. I was already pumped from our TA, but now I'm getting ready to watch this rocket take off. Trevor, thank you, man. Joshua, thank you so much for the super. Shout out to all you guys who send those in. I really appreciate it. Can you explain capital gains? Also, is there a certain equation to calculate the amounts? New to this, sorry if it's a dumb question. Joshua, it's not a dumb question, but I'm not a tax advisor, not a CPA, not a financial advisor. I'm a college student. So short-term capital gains, if you hold the stock for less than a year, it's going to be taxed at your ordinary income rate. Long-term capital gains is going to be a flat rate if you hold it longer than a year. Wherever you are, you might be in another country, I'm not sure. But in the United States, it's pretty, like for short-term capital gains, it's going to vary. But for long-term, right now, it's a flat rate. I don't even know what it is at the current time. But yeah, quick Google search. And then if you really want some more tax advice, just call a good CPA and don't cheap out on the CPA and the accountant after the squeeze, because the amount of money that you are going to pay them is going to save you a lot more money in taxes down the road. Let's see. Thoughts on Wells Fargo calls? I mean, Wells Fargo and Credit Suisse right now, in my opinion, are the two most like suspicious banks in terms of the BS that they might be holding on their balance sheet right now. So, I mean, in my opinion, I'm not bullish on banks. Long term, they'll be fine, but short term, when we're really coming in here, like to the squeeze, I don't think that. Like, I don't think banks are going to do very well. Long term is 15%. Yeah, I think they're trying to change it too to like 37 or something, some crazy high number. What are the new rules coming out tomorrow? We have the Phase 5 UMR. which is basically going to increase the volume of margin calls surrounding OTC derivative positions. It's going to increase the need for third-party custodians to keep safe collateral, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on these institutions to potentially close out some of their existing OTC derivative positions, which could be swaps, futures, weird options trades that they entered into, or any other types of OTC derivative. SV, did you see the Oliver Kringle Kitten interview? I did not. Who's Oliver? Ethan says, STV, day 2. Have you been recognized yet? Nope. Weren't we joining a new index? Yeah, I think that's today or tomorrow. Yeah. If you make 7 to 8 or 9 digits, I'd pay good money for that tax expert. Oh yeah. Don't cheap out on your accountant. I feel cool when I hold the microphone. It like makes me feel like I'm more in front of like an audience of like a bunch of people right now. Like when it's like down here on its stand, it's just like me talking. But like when I hold it up here, it's like presentation time. He's funny. Kringle talks. Yeah. Trap TV. I'd love to see that. Wells Fargo ain't far behind with JP Morgan, Bank of America. Yeah, debt. I've talked about that. It's actually 168 trillion, and I've been talking about that for like a month, I think. I forget who sent that to me. Oh, I saw it on Twitter when it first came out. It's an article that says like there's a giant looming problem. But here's the thing about that debt. So when you think about that OTC or that derivative exposure of the top 4 commercial banks, right now it's 168 trillion for the top 4 institutions, and then it's 188 trillion for all of the institutions. Here's the thing though, it's not at the high. It's been higher. Like 3 quarters ago, it was higher. So here's how the chart kind of worked for that derivative exposure. It went from like around here, it came down, and now it's starting to pick back up again. So it's not at the high. In 2008, the OTC or that sorry, I keep saying OTC derivative. It's not. It's just it's like derivative exposure. It was like higher than what it is now when 2008 freaked out. Joshua, thank you so much for the super. I only have 8 stocks, AMC. Hopefully something good comes of it. Holding for dear life. Joshua, there you go, man. Anybody that has like, you could have 1 share or you could have a crazy high amount of shares. It doesn't matter. You're just as important to what this situation and cause is that we have right now. Everybody is just as important as anybody else. Wall Street Viking, thank you so much for the super. I guess I'm not using TurboTax this year. Can I deduct supers? Check SPRT Vortex short interest. A free float went back up since you checked. Interesting. What was it at? It was at like 60 something. 60. It was at like 60 something. 68. So it went from like, I think it was 65 back up to 68. Yeah, these numbers are going to flicker around throughout the remainder of the night. Since I met STV, I want to short the VIX. There you go. It was only 33 trillion in 2008 from what I've seen put out. No, I looked at it. So what I did was I looked back at all of those reports that have come out. And in 2008, it was higher than what it was right now. I can like 95% sure when I was putting together my first video on that derivative exposure, I was like, yeah, this seems really high, but let's check what it was in 2008, what it's been over the previous quarters to see like where it is relative to where that derivative exposure has been in the past. It came down, it's on its way back up, and it was higher than what it is now back in 2008. So we still have a little bit of ways to go with that derivative exposure. We don't know if they're OTC derivatives. They most likely are. because of the sheer like dollar amount of those trades. You're not going to be able to execute those on an exchange. And we have phase 5 UMR, which was not in effect in 2008. So that number becomes a whole lot more important. Ron Allen, Charlie posted something about CFTC. He was upset. What does it mean? Or what rule is it mitigating? Yeah, so we looked at that a little bit earlier in the stream. What it basically says, I'll pull it back up. Where is it? It's this right here. See, I almost don't know what to make of it right now. Like we looked at these new reporting instructions, but like basically what it says, it's saying it's giving like a no action letter, basically saying that they're not going to enforce some parts of this rule. But also it says the staff determined that providing the conditional relief on a temporary basis would not adversely impact its ability to monitor the capital position of bank swap dealers. So if they can still monitor the positions, I don't know. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, Wall Street, it's the block. You can 100% sample my voice. Go for it. That would be awesome. Darth, thanks for showing me that. Can you upgrade to 4? I don't think so. You know, TMI wants to experience Power Hour in the least. Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, cool. I think phase 5 and then phase 6 next year will drive those derivative liability numbers down gradually as opposed to forcing market crash. Phase 5 and phase okay, so phases 1 through 4 affected banks. Phases 5 and 6 really affect like buy side, which would be like hedge funds and other institutions. So basically what phase 5 is, I'm pretty sure it's like a net obligation or something. It's so one of them's 50 billion, I think, and then the next in phase 6 would be 20 billion. So it's just who these rules apply to. So when phase 6 comes out next year, it's just going to apply to more people as that like minimum amount comes down even more. Thanks for answering your questions. Anytime, Det. Anytime. Super pumped. Seems like excitement is growing everywhere. I agree, man. Like it's getting fun. Like this is fun. Like we're really in a good spot, in my opinion. Like we're ready for this next leg up. I think I first heard, I think TMI and I were talking about this, but I think we may have both heard it from Matt's stream, I believe. Where is it on the, I think it would be the daily chart. There's a cup and handle on the daily. So right here we have this little cup and then handle. That's a bullish indicator where we could go up. I think Matt's the one that's been talking about that technical indicator. So that could be a really good bullish sign going forward. We're also coming off this little downtrend. We're ready to go. There's that cycle theory that Astro's been putting out. BAM has also been talking about around this time of the year that we could see a big run up. It's like what I said in the video today. It's like almost a perfect storm. Mac and cheese, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Am I allowed to say if I bought a call option or not? Ian, you can say whatever you want. I just never say what I'm buying, what I'm selling, if I still have an open position. Like if I close positions, I'll tell you guys exactly what it was. In the past, nobody will be able to make these trades anymore. I'll tell you what I did. I've told you guys about this in the past. It's like, I always think about what I would say if Gary Gensler was like right here, just watching everything that I was doing. So I just don't say those types of things. Like when I buy, how much I do there. Like, yeah, I just don't want to mess around with a lot of stuff like that. Ron Allen, thank you so much for the super. How was your senior year? Enjoy it. I mean, I just don't like going to classes, really. Like classes take away from me working right now, so it kind of hurts, but I got to do what I got to do. Fuzzy, I'm printing the final model right now. It's almost done. I'm currently streaming the print. If you want to check it out. Ooh, Fuzzy, I will check that out after. Can you shoot me a link to that? Can we talk about how to sell options? Yeah. Matt is thinking we have a little pullback before we break the trend and rip, unless I'm not up to date. Possible. Yeah, so how to sell options. Basically, what you're going to do, depending on your broker, is you're just going to hit sell to close or just the sell button. There's going to be a bid ask. You're going to pick what type of order that you want. If the options become illiquid, it's going to be easiest. You're going to get a fill if you just go down to the bid. The bid is sometimes going to have like maybe 1 contract, 5 contracts, 10 contracts at the bid. Sometimes the market makers will swoop in and just buy a bunch of contracts if you put the order in there. I've seen that happen where the bid is only like 3 contracts, but you can sell a bunch of them. But yeah, it's very simple. Same thing as selling a stock. Mac and Cheese, thank you so much for another super chat. Trifecta, Trey, TMI, STV, Sup, NFT. Why are we watching with limitations versus investing in your hedge fund? TMI equals trades while short the VIX. I mean, I don't have a hedge fund. We're also not advisors. Like the tests that we would have to take the SIE, the Series 7, like the Series 65, 63. Like we would have to take a lot of tests. I'm not like I don't like taking tests. I've taken so many tests in my life. I'm like done with taking tests. Why keep going to class if you're going to be rich? It's always good to have a backup plan. That's what I'm eating right now. Actually, mac and cheese. Yo, dog, what's good with naked? Haven't looked at it. Yeah, Wall Street. Definitely send it to me. I'm very down for that. I open an account with a different brokerage and want to transfer out of my Webull account. Should I wait, or do you think I have time? In your opinion? Does it? It doesn't. In my opinion, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. Because at this point, if you're holding shares, they're like, it would be so stupid of them to turn off the sell button at any broker. Because here's the thing about turning off the sell button. When you just think about basic principles of supply and demand, if you take away the supply and the demand is still there. So let's say there's 100 shares that are out there, but 90% of those shares are not able to be sold because these brokers have turned off that sell button. Well, now there's only 10 shares, but the demand is still there from those forced liquidations of hedge fund positions. So now they would have to buy those 10 shares that are remaining over and over and over and over and over and over and over. They would just keep having to buy those. And what happens then is that the price goes even higher because they're going to bid up those shares because there's going to be less of a supply and there's going to be less people holding them. They can set the price because they know that there's that scarcity aspect involved. You're never done taking tests. Oh boy. Oh boy, family. That's an interesting one. I mean, good for you, I guess. Gensler won't shut down payment for order flow without giving them time to change business practice. I mean, there are brokers right now that don't use payment for order flow and they take commissions on trades. Public is like one of the only, I'm pretty sure Public is commission free, but they have a different way that they make money, which is interesting. It's basically going to force the market to create a new way to make money off of retail investors. Because remember, retail investors are the product. The reason why Robinhood is so successful, as we went over last night, is one, their platform. They've made it really easy to trade. Like you click a couple buttons, you can buy options, sell options, buy stock, sell stock, short stock. Like you can do whatever you want, really. It's a lot harder with the interface at a lot of different brokers. So Robinhood has brought a whole bunch more retail investors in, and they are able to make fractions of a penny every single time that a trade is made. If there's more people trading, they make more money. If there's more trades being executed in terms of volume that they can basically pay for that order flow and basically execute those trades by front running them a little bit, Robinhood and the market makers are making more money. Moo doesn't do payment for order flow. You have to contact public to have them turn off share lending in your account. Interesting. Yeah, I don't have public, so. SUV is selling cash secured puts a good start for the wheel strategy? Yeah. Snapple. We talked about BBIG a little bit earlier. I can pull it back up again. Okay. I almost don't want to pull up BBIG to show their short interest because it is still heavily shorted. Right now, in my opinion, if you have not gotten into those stocks yet, this is my opinion, do whatever you want. If you want to buy in, it could easily go up way higher than what it is right now, and you can make a bunch of money. And remember, I said the same thing about SPRT when it was at 13 to 17, and then I ended up buying some and making money on a little FOMO play. But if you are fully willing to take the risks with entering into a play that has already run up a very significant amount, go for it. I'm just trying to project to you guys the risk of entering into this play now because it would seem as if you would be chasing it. Now that's not financial advice at all. Do whatever you want. Again, like I said before, I was being cautious with everybody on SPRT. One, I haven't done the deep research on it. I just haven't. Like I've been focused on I have school now, I have AMC to really figure out, and I have a couple of other things that I need to work on. So I haven't been able to take a look at it. So when you just look at it from a basic perspective, it's a little bit of a short squeeze play. It's already run up a decent amount. It could run up a lot more, but the best entries for that play have passed, in my opinion, but you can easily still make more money. So that's where I'm at on those. And watching my first call option run in the money, says Ian. Ian, there you go. Nah, I'm not chasing. BBIG going big too. More money to bring to AMC. Definitely could, Ben. That's what I'm saying. It easily could. I just want people like Ben. I know you have you have more experience. And I think you're very willing to take some of these calculated risks in the market. I'm just saying for the people that are newer to the market, just be cautious. That's it. Be cautious. Do what you want to do. If you want to make some more money and you see BBIG as a play to put more money into AMC, I easily think it could. That's the thing. It's I can't come to you guys and be I can't honestly say that a stock that has run up 100% crazy amounts over the last couple of days is going to continue to go. Because typically those things don't happen. But the thing is that it easily could. Like BBIG, let's just take a look. The heck was that? Come on now. Why is this my Weeble's being a jerk? Oh, I did it again. Hit the power button again on my computer. Whoopsie daisies. It could drop, but it has so much going for it too. Yeah, agreed. Risky plays. I get it. Yeah, on my laptop or my keyboard, sometimes this has happened before. I'll click the power button. It freaked me out the first time. It really freaked me out. You need a fat head of Rogue as your background? That would be awesome. SCV, what time is your mom turning off the Wi-Fi tonight? 9:30. Yeah, I have to like pay rent, and I have to see if I have any assignments due tomorrow. And if I don't, I'm just gonna like go walk around and think about how crazy this play is that we have going forward. The thing is like I can't, like, the one thing is like, yeah, I'm like doing like, I'm gonna be like hanging out like after this year. I'm gonna be doing like, I'm taking like a year to like for YouTube and to see if I can like get my own businesses like started with like real estate and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't want to like, because I've been like so focused on school forever, like get straight A's and all that stuff. I don't want to be like, oh no, I have to make like videos every day and stream for 2.5 hours till 10, and then I have no other time during the day to like do schoolwork. Like I need to have like a little bit of a balance. So I'm just going to be, most likely what we're going to end up doing is moving the streams up to 7 and going 7 to 9 is most likely what we're going to end up doing throughout the school year. And then when I'm on breaks, we'll go for longer. We'll do a lot of other, well, like when I'm on breaks, we'll get back to like the normal schedules of going longer. So if you guys like cycle in and out, those are going to be the times that we're going to be doing this now. So start a hedge fund. Well, how would I do that? Denial. You have to take so many tests. I can get behind earlier streams. Yeah, we would start at 7. Walk around looking for college honeys? No. I just want to go for a walk. How high do you think AMC will go? As high as it wants to. Nobody tell STV he would be making a killing on OnlyFans. We don't want him to leave us. Hodl AMC. I already do. You guys know this. I'm just kidding. Yeah, shout out the mods. Thanks for coming in here, guys, tonight. I mean, we're still going for a while, but you guys have TMI in the morning, TMI and Matt. I know a lot of you guys are Matt's mods too, and then TMI in the after hours, and then me at night. You guys put in a lot of work, so thank you guys so much. I'm gonna try to hook up a better discount for the merch, or what I'll do, if you guys are comfortable just sending me what your address is, I'll just order it for you guys. How many synthetics do you think there are? Claybor keeps saying there are none. I mean, I just disagree. Like, I just disagree that there are not counterfeit shares out there. That's just where I stand on that. Like, you can say that there isn't. You can say that there are. If you can provide an argument for each one, more power to you. Oh, look who we got here popping in at the same time. We have TMI and we have Wes. What's going on, guys?
Oh shit! It just got a little darker in here. Okay.
What's up? Hold on a second. One sec. Let me just get this on. It's easier. Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, STV? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I haven't seen you in forever, man. I missed you.
It's been super long. I've been in this hour slot. It's been kind of like my busiest synthetic lifetime. But I was on TMI stream earlier. I was like, I gotta see my guy STV. I'm so interested to see his perspective on this run and stuff. And I've been listening, watching a lot of the videos. Man, it's a really interesting time. This is very, very interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah, so sorry to cut in. Hey, what's up?
Drop some gems in the channel. We were going back and forth. Some guy came at him a little bit toasty today. It was like, where you from? Where you from? Wes is just like, well, this is where I'm from. This is who I know, and this is where they be at. And then some guy's like, oh, okay.
I was just like, where your grandma stay at then, bro? He was like,
Wes I'll pull up on you in this C8 right now.
No, it's never violence, but it was funny.
All my boys are going to be rolling up in Corvettes.
I don't think that guy expected that on the keyboard. He was like, "I'm gonna flex," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
dude, I was
it's
saying some wild stuff to people earlier. Like people were just
it's all
talking about
love.
like side girls, and I was like, hey guys,
Let's
if you need to
let's
have a side girl, that probably means your main girl isn't cutting it. So you need to up the standard on that one.
Hey, oh,
yeah,
dropping some
exactly. I'm a
gems.
loyal guy.
Okay.
I don't need to go to a barbecue when I got filet mignon at home. You know what I'm
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Gems.
saying? Yeah, we're having a
Absolute
great
gems.
time today. It's the
That's kind
energy.
of been the theme of the
It's the
stream.
energy around the stock too. Yeah.
Oh, that big ape energy, I can feel it.
Yeah, it's just there again. You know, like you were saying, I see you guys. A lot of people. It's starting to feel like this again. It's starting to feel like that time again. If there's blood in the water, you know, it's something's going on right now. You know, you can
It's
feel
different.
it. You definitely can. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
different. It's
Yeah, I'm
different than
starting
it's been in the. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I love it. I'm gonna start tweeting right now. Tell people
Here
to
he goes.
get their stuff in here. It's a fun time.
Oh, did
Oh,
you
it's so
TMI? What
fun.
happened with the live? Are you good now or still screwed?
Oh no, my live is good with the with my main channel. They just cut off. They literally just cut off the live and then left it alone.
I'm
They-
not gonna lie. I was like on my computer and I saw the notifications come in that you got cut, and I bought calls.
It's the most ridiculous thing, honestly.
Dude, it works.
I've probably
It works.
I'm nearing making 5 figures off of my own YouTube being shut down.
Right.
Oh,
Just
dude,
off
it's
of
got to
the-
be more than that now.
It's like
It's just a sign.
well, no, not more than 5 figures. Like that's 6 figures would be
Yeah.
crazy. That'd be
Oh yeah, well yeah.
yeah. But
I'm
like
saying this like.
it started off last week with just
Mhm.
like one. I was just like, all right, let me just put this down on one. I feel like the breakout's coming. They cut my YouTube channel. It must mean something bullish. Put it down. Boom. Shut up. Great. Took that money, put it on the side, and just waited until the next time they cut my channel off. They cut my channel off today. Put it down again. Boom. 18% in 5 minutes. I was like, all right. Cool.
When we were talking to when I was talking to Ben earlier in our group, like we were talking about like just a potential catalyst, and I was like, oh, just wait for TMI's stream to go down. We're
Dude.
gonna rip, and then it'll just keep going.
I tweeted at YouTube. I was just like, listen. I
Sorry.
was like, just cut my channel down before the next breakout, so I know when to buy calls again. Like, let's just keep this
Exactly.
going. Let's just keep this rolling. It's a good thing. It's a little dance we got going on. I like it.
Remember when we were messing with the algo today? We were trying to trick the algo. Maybe the algo knows that we're smart enough to figure out when we're gonna rip and is telling us through like bot attacking TMI's channel that we're about to break out. And it's like, here you go, guys. Like we're ready to go. And we just
Tinfoil
the
hat
only
theory.
sign is just TMI's channel goes down.
I love it. Tinfoil hat theory's in full effect, baby. I love it.
Wes, today, I popped onto TMI's stream for a little bit, and we were talking about how like it might be possible that like the institutions, like the algos, are like gauging like retail and like public sentiment in these types of stocks by like having some sort of algo for the live streams that they're like scraping the sound or like the chat.
Like
So
what
what
was that
TMI and I
Me-
started to do was just like buy, and then we were like, huh, that didn't work. But there's like a latency delay on YouTube on
I
like when
love
we
it.
say it and then when it goes to YouTube. So like within that 30-second delay, we started to go up.
I would not even
Anything is
be
possible.
one bit surprised if they're trying that type of level stuff. Are you with me?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
Something
yeah, me and
back.
TMI were having
Damn, who is
we were
good
having a
against
good stream, and then it was just like bam, it's gone. It's funny. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it was one of those things where it's like, I honestly, I wasn't even monetizing the stream. I
No,
literally
it's just-
jumped
it's-
on because I was like, let's just spend some.
Yeah, I think it's deeper than that, bro. Like I'm not gonna get all tinfoil, but I think it's not necessarily about the monetized aspect. It's something else in the sauce, you know.
Yep.
It's just wild.
It's-
Like
But we'll let it.
Always buy
Yo,
a technical
it is
breakout.
wild. every time technical breakout, same thing happened on the course channel when there was that technical, like major technical levels all of a sudden. And I'm not gonna point fingers at anybody, but I love what you said. There's way worse things going on here. Nobody's breaking any rules. Just let it breathe, let it happen, let people have their channels.
Yeah. It's like, oh, cool. Cut TMI's channel by calls.
Buy calls, baby. Buy calls. Like,
That's a joke, guys. Like, don't actually do that.
well, I'm just telling you guys what I personally will continue to do. You guys do whatever you guys want to do. I am openly saying if YouTube cuts my stream right before I call a technical breakout, just so you guys know, when the stream goes off, I am buying calls before I'm tweeting at anybody. Like
I was
last
waiting
time,
for the tweets.
oh, last time I was like, oh, I'm gonna make my money first. You guys already cut down my YouTube channel. Now I'm gonna do me, and then I'm gonna tweet at you saying what the hell is going on. But I was like, I'm not gonna wait the 2-3 minutes while AMC rips up $3-4 to just say, hey YouTube, screw you guys. That's not right.
You guys could you guys could take a seat on the bench real quick.
Exactly.
Yep.
They are mad they can't figure out who TMI is. The funniest thing, honestly, is that when I complained about my channel to them and I was on the phone with them and I was emailing them, calling them, speaking to 4 or 5 different people over there at Google, I was like, guys, look, I tweet at you guys all the time. When the whole community that was behind me when I got my channel terminated, you guys figured it out in 2 hours, right? I'm like, guys, it's been 2 days, it's been 48 hours. I'm just asking you guys to fix one aspect of it. And I spoke to people that actually work at Google, and they said once somebody looks at it, they'll fix it. So I just want someone to actually look at it. They're like, yeah, well, we sent it over. I was just like, no, but you have to understand, I'm speaking to people that actually work there. They're my friends. They're outside of work, right? But they actually work at your office, and they're saying that no one has looked at it yet. So I'm telling you, tell somebody to look at it. They're like, oh yeah, well, we sent it over to specialty. I'm like, okay, listen, last time I did this, I was trending on Twitter, and you guys fixed it in 2 hours. If you guys don't fix it by tomorrow morning, I'll be trending on Twitter again. Next morning, it was fixed.
Yeah.
Why I waited 2 days?
There's the power of the trend,
It's just like you have to be like an asshole.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's strange.
Oh man.
Like any sort of customer service call. STV, has it happened to you on a stream yet? Any weird glitching, like any stuff?
There was one time I think that something weird happened, and then it was fine though. Like it wasn't an issue. Like I've had my Wi-Fi cut out before, but
right. Yeah,
Ryan
I mean
Sinclair.
it is what it is, man. And I think what's good, Ryan.
Thank you for the super, Ryan. Guys, definitely listen to STV. When we had the Gamma Squeeze in June, I was just learning options, turned 1K into 18K, and then blew it up in 1 week. Yeah, man, you got to be very careful.
Yeah, it's a vicious game, and like a lot of people, because you guys know, I'm just entering that world. People ask me options questions all the time. I don't know. I defer to those who do, and they're not going to give you advice of which ones to play, but you got to be careful in that world. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You can really do well, but it's there because there has to be a loser on the end of the chain too.
Exactly.
So, the other thing is like, we don't have any type of like a in-person relationship with any of, or like, I don't know if you guys like know some of the people like personally that watch your channel, but like we don't know you guys personally, so we don't know what kind of financial situation you're in. We don't know your experience trading options. We have no idea what your risk tolerance is. Like even my personal friends, when they're asking me like, should I buy options right now, I'm like, no, like you've no idea what you're doing. Like don't mess around with this. But like my friends that do, it's like, oh, like this is what I'm looking at. What are you looking at? Blah, 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 and we'll go back and forth because it's like, I would like, you almost feel like responsible for like what they're doing, even though it's their own financial decision. That's why I never say like what I'm doing at the current time. I'll tell you guys like after I do it. Like after I close.
You guys got 60,000 people plus. We're not going to say what to do, but after, that's it. But don't be afraid to learn the markets, guys, at all. Don't be afraid of it, but just be wary that it is deep. It's something you gotta take seriously. Your hard-earned money here.
Yeah, it's better for us to just like be able to show you how we do things, like just in terms of like strategy and how things work, versus us just saying, "Yeah, I bought this," and then you made a bunch of money, because you won't be able to replicate it.
Yeah, you're touching on something that's it's what I'm currently working on right now behind the scenes.
Yeah,
it's learning how to communicate everything I
Cool.
see in an efficient way.
Mhm.
Like I can trade for myself. Like lots of times, even Short the Fix and I will talk, and it's like sometimes we'll talk about things before they happen. Sometimes I'm telling him after it happens, because when I see it, I zone in and I'm just in my own world.
Mhm.
Like I'm seeing it and I'm just like I'm zoning in,
Yeah.
focusing on the ticker. I'm waiting for certain signals, but learning how to communicate that properly to a 5-year-old, because when you have to be able to explain to a 5-year-old in order for everyone to get it, is not the easiest thing in the world. That's why even when I tweet and say, hey, look, if you don't know options, go to Short the VIX, go to option drops, go to that guy Tyler. I think it's Tyler on Twitter.
Tyler is option drops.
No, not Tyler Wilson.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Tyler Wilson?
No, not Tyler Wilson. It's a different guy. Who's that black guy who's talking always with the Twitter space calls about options? I tagged him in my.
Oh, that's Travis.
Travis.
Yeah, Travis and Kofi. Travis Kofi know options really well.
Oh yeah, they
I tagged all three of them, but no, they don't only know it well.
Travel
they know how to communicate it properly.
Yeah.
And like that.
Oh yeah, they can educate about it, and they do it for free. Just so you can learn the language of the Greeks, etc. Yeah, it's like anything. You got to know the fundamentals.
And also, if you've been explaining options for a long period of time, you know how to explain options better than someone who just started explaining options. You know what I mean? Like there's levels to it, right? So
yeah,
like
and you're working on simplifying it for your audience. That's a great idea.
Yeah. If I don't have like a concrete reason for why I'm buying something, I can't do it. I'll feel weird about it. Like I won't be able to hold it for very long. Like I'll have no idea what's going on. So like those alert services, like the unusual options activity and all that stuff, it's awesome. If you can figure out your risk tolerance with those, put a little bit of money in sometimes, make a bunch of money with it, it's great. But for me, it's like I want to know like why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the next time a situation like this comes, I can replicate it and like figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When this call is done, that's what I'm doing tonight. Just doing a bunch of digging on options to figure out some of the best technical setups, and I want to have like a solid 2 or 3 things that I'm solely looking for these 2 or 3 setups over the next few weeks, and then just see how many times I can find them and how many times I can and track them. Right?
Ryan had another comment. Ryan, thank you for the super. If I didn't have the emotional and leadership training that I have, that would have hurt a lot, but my experience teaches me I can make it again. You definitely can. Ben says, "Wait, what are the Greeks?
Man. That's the mentality.
This option for 100% of my liquidity. Is that wrong, JK?" Ben, I know you're not doing that.
Ryan, if I could tell you how many trades I won and lost on, man, like it's a long road, brother. It's just learn from it, and like you said, like don't, even if you did maintain that 18K, don't went off it. Learn how to work it so you keep hitting and keep winning more times than not. That's what this is about, right?
Exactly. And two things. One is whoever said, I think it's Ryan, who said he blew up the 18K he made. It's like, that is gangster, the fact that you can come out and say that, because that is what this community should be about. We talk about wins, we talk about losses. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, I blew up a 12K account. Like I just have it.
I blew up.
Yeah.
We can have a whole video on the accounts we've blown up before we started doing this stuff.
And the thing is you never think it's gonna happen. You're like, no, like this isn't gonna happen, and it happens to everybody.
No, and the thing is, like, you start trading stocks, and you're like, wow, this is easy. Let's go to options. Account blown up. 6 months trading stocks, grow the account.
Yeah.
You'll like hit a bunch of good trades, and you're like, wow, I'm really good at this. Like I'm better than everybody else at this. And then you just get hit with a couple bad trades, and you're like, whoops.
You're like, hedge funds are making what, 50%?
I looked at
peers. I'm up 200 in 2 weeks. Talk to me nice. And options come in, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, talking. Then it's like, oh. Yeah. I've looked at tickers that I let go of like 7 months ago, and I'm like, oh well, maybe that would have been a good idea to keep that. But I went all ape, so that's what it is. Sorry, no apologies.
It's options. You can make a bunch of money. You can lose a bunch of money.
Yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
the gist of it,
experience one of them.
Yeah, one of the things that I'll say is this.
That's the
This is
gist
what
of
I've noticed.
markets. There's no in between.
Yeah, exactly. There's no in between. One of the things I've noticed is this: people in the community, and this is not just apes. This is just your friends, family, like humans in general. They don't come to you and say when they lost money. Like no one comes to you out of the woodwork and says, "Hey, look, I lost 200K this week." If someone makes that much money, they're gonna put it in your face. When people lose that much money, you don't hear a peep.
Yeah.
It's silent,
Yeah.
right? So it's
So I'm shouting out Ryan too, because he's putting it on the table. Like, look,
exactly that's what makes people.
it's like he's already learned, and
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, he's learned, and now he's gonna take that, and he's gonna take heed to what made that work for him. And I think over the course of the time, he's gonna be very successful with it because he's gathered the understanding rather than just sulking.
Right,
It's
and
that's a
even
big
that.
part of business in general. Is you got to take your licks. Like I've been beat down in business for years and years, but if you persevere, just like you learn the markets, you're gonna, likelihood you're gonna get wealthy if you just, stick to it and stick to your process.
Exactly. But also, like, he said that he lost, and then
And
this guy,
everybody's gonna have their own
TRX,
style.
yeah, TRX came and said that he lost 100K in one day. He said he made lots of money with the AMC shares, but then he said he lost 100K in one day. And then Moose says that makes me feel better about my fails. Like, it allows people to open up and, like, get that real conversation going by just one person saying, I fucked up. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, I fucked up too. Oh, yeah, I fucked up too. It's just like, yeah, we all fuck up. We do.
Yeah, we're not all just gonna come in here and say we won every day.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. D-Pipe, thanks for the super. Why aren't you guys talking about the CFTC tweet? Big deal right now. Yeah, we already covered that. We got to do some more research into that thing. It's interesting. Yeah, the other thing is I don't know if you'll remember. I don't remember any of my big losses, but I remember all of the big wins.
So short memory.
Yeah, for sure.
Short memory. I remember a little bit of
both. That's true.
A little bit.
I remember some opportunity, like cost opportunities that didn't make, not necessarily losses, but could have been. But I've been that's like since the high school dance. That's I've been averaging up and down.
Since the high school.
No,
dance,
ultimately you're so right, man. Yeah, man. There's been like I shouldn't. I'll leave that alone. That's the TMI's box theory. I'm buying in this box.
The issue with the way the issue with the way I would trade, like Darth is saying, like when you lose an option, like on an option trade, learn from it so you don't make the same mistake. The way that I used to trade options around earnings, it's supposed to not work. Like that's the weird thing. It's like, oh, if it doesn't work, you're like, yeah, it wasn't supposed to. But the way that I was trading it was like you only have to be right 1 out of every 10 times to break even, or even less than that if you hit a good one. So like you just have to like keep going, hit one, keep going, and it's like a weird way. You'll be like, oh, I'll like have this real big spike, and then we'll like have this little like downtrend, and then you'll hit another one, and then you'll come on this down, or you'll just like downtrend all the way down to blowing up your account. I don't trade that way anymore, obviously, but
yeah. That's amazing in the markets.
You know what?
This fall is going to be so interesting in world markets.
Yeah, I would love to because I saw someone say that Matt's the best Tesla trader ever, and I think Matt says he was like the best, but he always says like he was the worst. Like it's an ongoing joke. I cannot wait until everyone has money. The squeeze is over, and then we have like 4 or 5 different guys on YouTube just talking mad shit to each other, all fun and games.
Yeah.
But just like, all right, well, screw your calls. These are my calls. We're putting up our own calls against our calls to see who does better. Like it's gonna be such a funny.
that would be so much fun.
That's like can you imagine how much fun that's gonna be? Like Tesla Wednesdays. Like let's see who has the best Tesla call like time.
Oh, dude, Thursday, right as the market closes, I will just do my I'll just up the volume of the amount of the daily YOLOs that I'll do. What I used to do, guys, is there were a couple of stocks in my mind that depending on the market conditions for that week, I would buy 2 or 3% out of the money calls that expired the next day, and those would be if you could just hit one every couple of weeks, you're making so much money. It was only $100 a trade, $200 a trade. But if you hit them on a stock that's not supposed to move but can move, it's that's how options work. It's you want to have the whole thing that revolves around the whole the basic premise is, are you able to play in the right direction that surprises the market? Because what the option chain does is it essentially prices in what the market is expecting for an expected move over a given time frame. If it moves outside that expected move by a certain amount, it has to do with standard deviations, then you make a bunch of money.
That's when you win, when the least expected
It's when you can
occurs.
beat that expectation that the market has set out.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'm just learning, guys, and I appreciate it. You guys know I'm very open about it. I'm just learning it. And I love it. I'm learning so much, and I can't wait for those times where there will be competitions for that, for who's what off of this ticker. Yeah, I'll have a little cup with some dice and maybe some chicken feet, and I'll just roll it out. You're like, oh no, yeah. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the things that are gonna happen when we have this liquidity just to play. Because most people just put their focus on, the big two now. I know it's MCGME for me, and that's kind of I just don't deviate personally. But shout outs to people that are learning so much on this curve as well. I'm doing a lot of market learning though, aside from investing in the stock. A lot of market learning. It's awesome. I've learned so much derivative world. Like Jesus, it's so much deeper than even I could ever imagine. I did a couple years in school. STV, you've been in school, what, your senior year now? I did a couple years. The stock education where I live or the business world education is very good where I live, but it's also very broad in comparison. I find if you live in the Northeast like that, that world is kind of where it is. So people just have they're more in tune with it than they are out west. I'm not afraid to say that. This is part of the world there,
Yeah, culture.
It's not
culture
obscene to be deep
finance
in
culture.
the markets in your 20s. You saw from the chat this morning, TMI, what the difference is.
Oh my God, that was so freaking hilarious. It was
Dudes are
a 101 in ebonics.
Yeah. It was a West Coast stock. It was people, the floodgates open. They're like, bro, I got 500 AMC. I'm going all out. You're like, yo, hey, what's your name, man? I had a good time. Yeah,
it was good.
But no, to bring it back, how universal it is, and the STV chat, like I was saying this morning, what a brilliant group of people too. So many brilliant minds, and just you don't see everything or you don't super chat. Don't think it goes overlooked. We learn from these chats. I read them. I'm like, wow, I didn't look at it from that angle. Everyone's a contributor.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, that's really what we're all here for. Just to learn more ourselves, and to basically teach people what we have learned so far on our journey. But that is gonna wrap up the stream tonight, guys. It is 9:30. We are cutting them a little bit earlier this week because I'm back at school now and I have to do school things. But yeah, thank you guys.
Go hard, bro. Do that.
Thank you guys for all coming in. We got Wes Gorilla Investments over here.
Things.
Wes, we're looking for that new video coming out. I'm pumped, man.
Here's the thing, STV, is guess who has the last yet to be recorded segment? That's right. I got my milk. I got my jug ready. But now I'm tempted to order the Huskies. I'm tempted to order the hoodie, but I got a whole different plan. You're good, bro.
Ooh, I can hook you up with one.
Anyways, it's good, man. I'm at the Yukon Jam. I was so good to talk to you guys today. You know how I feel. SCV, you know how I feel. Ape Nation, everybody out there, just stay focused. This is our time. It's a great time, and be excited.
Let's do it.
TMI, any last words, buddy?
Throw some bulls in the chat too.
What's the girl's name who's behind the
Oh
computer?
my god.
What's up?
What's the girl's name who's behind the computer?
What do you mean?
The girl that's behind the computer in your room.
Oh, nobody's here.
All right.
Okay, I got you.
I'm alone. It's called homework.
I've got to go.
I love it. Well, it's a power hour ending. It's a power hour
Oh, you're
ending.
studying.
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Guys, go check out Wes.
Are you going to do homework like Randall?
Oh, the doctor's
You
appointment?
guys,
Nah.
you doing homework like Randall goes to the doctor's appointments all the time? You're perfectly healthy, son.
All
Oh,
right,
no,
guys.
for real. Let's
I'll
let this
see
guy
you tomorrow.
get to his lifestyle.
Gee,
Okay, have a great night, everyone.
See you guys.
Yes. Peace.